What up, Gogeta? What did I have last night? I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch and some cinnamon Cheerios. Apple cinnamon Cheerios. Very good. Very good dinner. Very healthy. Great vitamins and minerals. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. Spoiled myself. Yeah. Had to celebrate. Had to celebrate Evil Geniuses going to the grand finals. We gotta go. We gotta take the gold. We gotta take the gold before Worlds. I believe. I believe in the power of the geniuses. I'll be interested to see how the bands go in the draft against the other team, which Dignitas, Root Dig. Morning's good. Lil Coop's been a little fussy. He's been teething. He's got a little cold. But all in all, it was good. I watched some of the Day 2 VGC. I watched some of the Wolfie games. I don't know about the Toxapex pick, man. He won 2 games that I saw only because he got a double protect, which is a 30% chance. So we got super lucky on 2 of the games I watched. I don't know. I don't know about the Toxapex. Like plastique. Oh my gosh, 7-year-old nephew. Is that how old my nephew is? I'm not sure. One of them's 4, I think the other's 6, maybe turning 7 soon. Let's go. Bring him out, bring him out. Look at that celebration, holy moly.
Welcome to the 2026 Pokemon North America International Championships. We're back in the Big Easy, where thousands of the world's best trainers have come to battle for the title of NAIC champion. Last year, 2-time world champions Luminosity Gaming completed their IC sweep after a tense 4-game set against Revelation.
One of the best to ever do it, Luminosity Gaming!
Its Axon battled tirelessly through the losers bracket, resetting the bracket in the grand finals and winning his 2nd NAIC title.
Race for Axon, he is your 2025 North America International Champion!
After coming up short in the past finals, Isaiah Bradner pulled it all together to claim his first NAIC trophy in the Masters division.
This is all last year's?
And he is the North American
International 2025.
Champion.
Recap.
Federico Camporisi claimed yet another champion title for Italy in an exciting 3-game match against teammate Marco Silva.
Federico Camporisi is your 2025
I guess my question is,
international champion.
why? I guess I don't understand. What's the point of it being North American International? Why isn't it just the international one? If anyone can come and compete. I guess I don't understand the point of having region-based championships when it's basically everyone's coming and participating anyway. Wouldn't it make more sense to have a region specific and then the international is just the world's tournament?
And the lead is there.
That comfy color looking so good on the south edge. And it's 4 knockouts for Lunex Gaming. They're going to go for obvious left. They don't make it, Lunex!
So then you have the best teams from NA going to Worlds, the best teams from EU going to Worlds, the best teams from Japan going to Worlds.
This one is going to be EG 2-0.
I don't know. I'll have to learn more about the actual logistics of who gets the opportunity to progress.
These next 2 teams are the only teams competing for it.
Oh, MSI plus LCS. That makes sense.
Deep Cross Gaming not falling for any shenanigans. Secure a big-time win in a big-time fashion is exactly what DCG wanted to do.
Deep Cross is your last.
I'm really bummed the
team
EG Goofy
qualified for
Goobers
the
match
Pokemon
wasn't
Unite
broadcast
World
because
Championship.
Goofy Goobers kind of got
Dignitas
steamrolled a little bit by
and that might just make them the first
the DC Gaming crew.
NAIC 2026.
Rude Dig moving to our grand finals on Championship Sunday.
Make some noise for Rude Dignitas.
No Sayaya Unite move available, and Groudon is just getting shredded, and it's Mamoswine to take down the Groudon. Moltres in the back line, and not for long. Mimikyu down, and Evil Geniuses race to the goal zone. We know
Go
it.
EG.
EG 3-2.
Evil Geniuses able to hold that lead.
Hey, Shanna, thanks so much for the Twitch Prime. 6 months, appreciate you. Thanks for all the support. It is
Good
not.
morning, New Orleans. It's time for
Unite is
Championship Sunday
only switching
here
mobile.
at the North American International Championship 2026.
Yes, it is, because we're going to be crowning today the champion of North America Internationals in Pokemon.
That's right. These players have been fighting for prizes, trophies, championship points, but most importantly, the title of North American International Champion.
That's true. And later today, we're going to see the crown to whoever goes in Pokemon Go, Pokemon video game, and the Pokemon trading card game.
But first, of course, Soph, we've got our game. So to start things off, we're going with Pokemon Unite.
Let's go. Oh, I thought they were going to start showing like more recaps. Not a bumper screen.
Rutik just needs to close this one up.
Zubruk says, well, I'll just push you out of the way. Root, Dignitas, take the Rayquaza.
All 5 members of Deep Cross Gaming KO and Evil Geniuses race to the goal zone.
They were so hype after the win last night. The 5 game.
Today at the NAIC finals, when it matters the most, we're gonna take you down.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I'm glad Dig and EG were on opposite sides of the bracket.
Okay, we are here with the grand finalists of Pokemon Unite, Evil Geniuses and Root Dignitas. From here on
Renaville,
my
thanks
side,
so much.
I have Zubrug.
And over here we've got who else but Kyrios. Kyrios, oh my god. I'm sorry. You're good, right? Yeah, sorry.
We good? Are we good for this grand finals?
We're good.
All right, let's go. So, who's going to take the crown today? Will it be Root Dignitas?
Or will it be Evil Geniuses?
Let's go!
Now I think we have a question, right? We got some questions for these players.
Yeah,
Real quick.
we do. If you're ready for it, are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
For pre-game
Let's
interview.
go. Okay, so Root Dignitas, champions of NAIC in this 2026 season. How is NAIC faring for you, and how different do you feel from November?
Is
to now?
LAIC Latin America?
I mean, we're super confident. We won NA Regionals. This is a team we beat to win, so we're just going to do it again.
All right,
All right,
Redemption.
very confident.
Now the team's
Redemption.
been building up the entire season. Do you feel
They beat us at
now is the
regionals,
time
redemption
to take
time.
a title?
Yes.
It very
Let's
simply
go.
said.
Short, sweet, and to the point.
Okay, so before we get into this grand
Classic.
finals, do you have words for your opponent?
I mean, you guys have been second place all year.
Talk to him, he's right there.
Oh man, are we?
Second
Are
place
we?
all year, so we're just going to keep it that way.
Oh my gosh, the
All
smack,
right.
You gotta have
the
something back to
smack
that, right?
talk.
I mean, yeah, you've been confident from the regionals, you've been doing good in the league, but when it comes to the NIC finals, when it matters the most, we know you're going to lose.
Oh, let's go.
Strong opinions here from the players.
Little
All
pregame smack.
Let's do a stat down before we get to the
Glitter,
classes
good
and you
morning.
can get ready for your games. Shall we? Hey, let's go. All right, passing it over to Kelly now for a lovely interview with family and friends.
Before we get the ball rolling, we need to ask some questions from our supporters here in the sidelines of these two teams. We have Higadiff, jack of all trades, manager, sub, and coach. How has it been watching Evil Geniuses from the sidelines here this weekend?
From the sidelines, it's been an honor watching them from LEIC to UIC to the lead till now. Watching them grow week by week, it's been incredible. It's been a pleasure, and they're going to make me proud no matter what today.
Heck yeah.
Oh, that is so lovely.
I'm already
We
proud
have
of them.
Newt here, Otter's girlfriend. I know I have heard you screaming from the crowd. How has it been watching from there?
It's been so much fun. I'm really happy to actually get to be here in person and to make it even better. I have lots of friends that came here with me to support Root Dignitas, so it's just been so amazing to get to cheer and to get to see them keep on winning, and hopefully we'll see more.
Yes, but before we end up going out onto the battlefield, any words of encouragement you would like to offer Evil Geniuses, even though I'm sure you would have already done that?
Live evil.
Live evil.
Anything from you, Newt?
Hashtag dig win.
Thank you so much. I say we get these matches started, throwing it over to the...
Oh, they cut off her mic.
Here we are, NAIC in our grand
Hashtag
finals for
live
the
evil.
final stretch of Pokemon Unite. We have already found what team is going to be heading to the World
Tiny hands, thank you for the
Championships,
prime.
getting that last spot, and now we could not
Appreciate
have a
you.
better finish than this. The two best teams in North America facing off. Hi, everybody. Jake, your resident content cowboy. Yee to the
Man,
hog.
some
Joined by
some
the
very
one, only
bright
Newt Stats. Hello,
sequins
Newt
on
Stats.
these suits.
Hello, Cowboy. I can't wait to get this underway because, as you said, the best two teams in NA have been pacing not only this region, but this western half of the world all year long, and it's very fitting that at NAIC they clash again.
Yeah, you really couldn't have a more.
Am I going to? I am
finish. You
not.
never know how a
Unfortunately, not
bracket
doing
is
any
going
card
to
parties. My
shake out,
schedule
right?
just was
It's
a
single
little too tight this
elimination on
year.
Day 2,
with
having our team
shows.
snake their way all the way here, and somehow it's Dignitas versus Evil Geniuses. Looking at Unite as an esport, could it be any better than Dig and EG right here in the grand finals? I can tell you, if this is your first time watching Unite, these are some of the best teams to ever do it. Been playing the game since day one. On both sides, we have players who have won regional championships before. In fact, last year's winner is on Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention, both of these teams have world champions as well.
Dallas
Is that
Fort
a
Worth,
correct
no.
statement?
I'll be in
Probably
Houston and
not.
Austin.
It's
My next show is
very
actually
close. If it's
Austin,
not correct, it's
July
yeah,
like
close.
10th,
Technically,
I
Toon
think.
was a sub year
And then
one.
Houston is my last show of the year in
It is
December.
correct.
Got there, and people are like, why do they have these guys for awesome, deep stats like that?
And now we're heading right into our draft here. If you play Unite and you're in Master Rank, you've seen this before, but it looks a little different and a little prettier here on our
when
broadcast.
is
We're going to see
the-
our teams ban
I'd be interested in the
Pokemon on each side.
VGC
These are
one.
Pokemon that cannot be picked by either squad.
Is that
So they're
today
looking
as
at powerful
well?
Picks that you don't want your opponent to have,
Right.
or just Pokemon that are so unbelievably strong you don't want anyone to pick them up. Mew is a ban here from Evil Geniuses. That looks directly targeted toward the player Otter.
Yeah, can't let
on
Otter
Root
get the
Dignitas,
Mew.
who is one of the
Cannot
best
let
Mew
Otter get
players
the
in
Mew.
the entire world.
His
As we continue
steals
our
on
bans,
objectives
Blissey, a
yesterday,
supporter. Snorlax,
ridiculous.
probably the best defender going in the game right now. On the side of Dignitas, we have the Psyduck, the newly released Feraligatr, which is incredible, and Mega Charizard Y for our bans.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, banning the Mews unsurprising.
Jamaldo,
If you
yeah, I'll
weren't
see
tuning
in
in
Boston,
yesterday,
man.
Otter pretty much saved the skin
Boston.
of Dignitas, over and over and over again with that Pokemon. And Moltres is a character specifically that gave Evil Geniuses fits on their way here, and they're picking it first.
Yeah, Moltres is, I think,
Ooh,
probably
Hoopa was
the
a bit-
best thing
ooh, the
going in
Hoopa.
the game right now. It feels like whatever team it's on has a massive advantage. An
Hoopa
extremely
is,
powerful
very, very
all-rounder
good.
with incredible self-recovery. On the other side, Root Dignitas picking up the attacker of the tournament. That is Espeon. Even though the
Dunky
Mew
on
was
our boy,
banned
the
out, I really do
boar,
think
the
Espeon
Mamoswine.
is our #1 attacker here at
Time to go full
NAIC.
bore.
Incredibly strong early, incredible
Hey,
secure
Schlub.
potential for these wild Pokemon. And then as soon as it hits level 4, it gets Psyshock and it takes it to another level.
VGC is 2
Yeah,
p.m.
back the
Pacific,
other
so that's
way, we're gonna
5
have Zacian
Eastern.
and Articuno, two Pokemon that that these two players have played
I may not be able to be
Zugrug
live for
has
that
been
one.
Spectacular on the legendary bird all weekend long. We're going to see where EG rounds it out. One of the only teams that still plays the traditional healing support in most cases, and it looks like Alchemy is where Roland is going to be. No real surprises there.
I love Alchemy. I think it is a
okay. The Decidueye coming out
in the game. Roland is incredible on this, and look at this final pick here from Evil Geniuses, the long-range sniper in Decidueye. Root now with their final pick, something for Toon, one of their carry players on their team. We're going to see what they want to slot into here. They may have been looking for that themselves, but no, instead going with the Machamp. And it's interesting to see Machamp in a last pick situation here. This Pokemon for most of the season, especially since one of our huge tournaments in Japan, has been a priority pick or ban.
One of the combinations you're going to see is the submission out of Machamp into the Psyshock by Espeon, which is a gargantuan 1-2 punch to smother down any target on the side of Evil Geniuses. And right now, if I'm Root Dig, I'm eyeing down Moltres to hit with that combination, because if you let this thing stick in the pocket, it has so much self-sustain.
All right, so Moltres and Decidueye, I mean, good carries.
We are starting our
We got Ducky on the board.
Alchemy
support.
With Rayquaza in the center. Groudon and Kyogre are also.
I always get a little nervous when the opposing team has the Hoopa, though. Hoopa can just pressure the map so much with the portals.
Versus Root Dignitas. You saw the hardware up on the big stage. That is what they are playing for.
Thanks for stopping in.
The lion's share of our $50,000 prize pool and the title of NAIC champion.
All right, let's start off with a win.
Both of our squads
and not dig ourselves, have to dig ourselves out of a hole.
Again, you couldn't ask for a better matchup in our grands. The two best teams all year.
Lose out on healing with it, that's true.
Holding it down. Well, here we go. Evil Geniuses.
Let's go. Let's go. Grand Finals.
Dignitas, your orange team. Let's start our grand finals.
We are looking.
Are we gonna get a Ducky invade?
Ready to roll through that central area and get as big as possible. Hit that level 5. I am taking a look at how Evil Geniuses is going to react to Espeon Articuno from Root Dig in that bottom path, because they certainly have the early game advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need healing if you don't get hit.
Early game for them. Zealot with a very strong early game.
Best defense is a good offense, right?
Getting a little aggressive, moving forward, looking for a KO early, and Roland having to use their eject button.
Pressuring our Milcery.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great resource to pluck out early, and one that Roland probably wishes they still had in their pocket. Moltres
coming
in.
in.
Finn going to make a difference here. You already see that big burst of damage from it.
Now the question is Moltres going to stay top? Are they going to head down towards the bottom path and make a sneakier play? They've already shown their opponents where they are, and it looks like they are moving down to the bottom path. In fact, both center area Pokemon could be meeting down here for this first fight at our birds that spawn at 850.
We already have submission. Toon is hiding out. We'll see what target they go to. They're scampering around. Actually, just a chip shot is going to put the brakes on that. We are working through the Swablu and Altaria. That is a lot of early game experience that these teams want to fight for.
You know, I can tell you, it really feels like both of these squads
are
a little scared to enter a dust-up right away. No one wants to make the first mistake of our grand finals. Everyone just cautiously moving back and forth, seeing what experience they can take from each other.
You now see the Rowlet going into the central area, evolving here, going to be able to finally get online as the Decidueye, again, that long-range sniper potential.
You know, the nice thing that Evil Geniuses has is we have a little bit of an invade happening in the center there. Ender actually trying to slow down this Decidueye from getting online. Moltres only really needs level 5, so they can give the rest of the experience over to that Decidueye.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's kind of the first break point of Moltres. Decidueye, on the other hand, needs to get to that stage 2 evolution. Zugrug, in the face of
pressure on the middle
here
spawn.
Here comes Ender and Toon. Scampering around is the Machoke. They're going to peel back. Look at this. Otter, silently level 6, ready to dominate.
Yeah, Otter is ready to go here. They have both of their moves now here at level 6.
All right,
level
Ducky just
8,
evolved.
They will hit their Unite move, but that is still something to be seen as Curios struggling to get their level 7. That's what they need to get their Spirit Shackle on Decidueye. We'll see how quickly they can get that. If Root wants to actually punish them here. No, I think just another play.
Yeah, I think getting suplexed into the Articuno.
I feel like both teams are playing a little cautiously right now. Kind of feeling each other out a little bit. All right, 4 bot from Dig.
In the face of 2, certainly the player advantage.
And a couple points on the board.
Wow, what a play by Dignitas. Huge points early. They break the goal zone right away at 7 minutes, 10 seconds. Right now, 0 to 88 points. Of course, the team with the highest score at the end wins, and there are a lot of factors that go into that. But right now, Evil Geniuses way behind.
Yeah, pivoting up top here is Zug to see what Chris Smith and Kyrgios are up to. Roland and Ducky going to create a little frontline action so they can guarantee themselves the Reggie Alecki, and it is marching towards Root Dig's Tier 1 goal zone.
We'll see what they're going to do about it. They're just going to walk away, and they're going to leave it to them. They're just going to trade scores as multiple members of Dignitas are actually looking to score in the bottom path right now. We have 2 members of Dig being pushed off by the Moltres, and a fight's breaking out.
Blizzard right into the middle here. Big Spirit Shackle.
Pick up Ducky, but we might be able to clean up the fight. On right. Get him to Sidui. Nice. All right, 2 for 1. 2 for 1.
Quality KOs for EG.
And they're still on the
See if they
Hoopa.
can send one back the other way. Ender was trying to help the Zashi and Zealot move forward there, but they weren't able to make it happen. Big plays from EG here as they are now up 101 to 88.
Picked up the Hoopa kill.
Flying pretty close to the
All right, we got some good KOs.
Wings almost got destroyed by the Zacian that was just hanging
Ducky,
out.
get him, Ducky.
On the side of Root Dig. Espeon Unite is there. They're using it to try to save
Another
themselves,
pickup on the
but
KO.
no
Let's
chances
go.
there. Vin shuts it down.
Yeah, big resources used. The eject button from Ducky to grab the Espeon. Espeon had to use the Unite move, but with multiple members of Evil Geniuses setting up a big KO. It's a wasted Unite for Root Dig.
Without a doubt. Zealot and Toon here. Toon again hitting Machamp, level 10. Gonna have that Unite move. It's been expended. They're gonna try and build that back up for the next team scrap.
Yeah, we're gonna see when they want to. This is that moment in the match where there's a little bit of a calm before the storm. We don't have an objective.
Definitely caught back up on XP.
And bottom path
We got
right
2
here.
level
We are
10s.
just looking for the next moment. And if you look at your mini map in the top left, not a single yellow pip on there. That means every piece of experience has been licked clean from this map. They are looking to get as strong as possible before the next big fight. The question is, how do these teams want to play it?
Coming up on the halfway
objective
point
do you
here.
care more about?
Right now, we've got Ender using the Trick Phantom Force combination to be able to leash people back through that portal so they don't get too much into trouble. There's the suplex, the submission, right into the side shot.
Ducky's still up.
Very low, able to get out by using the Piloswine's Earthquake.
Yeah, and here we go. They're looking for another engage right here, possibly finding Moltres. Not able to
Ducky's
get
super
Ducky, and
low.
they do
Okay, gets the
evolve.
evolution. The
Mammoth
boar's
flying
online.
with their Unite move.
All right, he went back to
4
heal.
members of Dignitas are here in the bottom path.
They're doing a great job keeping that experience lead is Root Dignitas, right? Really stressing this bottom path, focusing on these basement Reggies, as of course EG will take the free Reggie Alecki up top through Chris Smith and that Garchomp.
Here we go. Reg Ice for Root Dignitas. Reggie Alecki for Evil Genius.
Now we're slightly up on points.
Too, but it looks like EG isn't moving there. They're making a sneaky play to the bottom path right here, and they could catch Root Dig.
Earthquake goes for the Ice Fang. No, doesn't deliver. Blizzard is there.
All right, get engaged.
And they're going to fade back just for now. What
Stop
could have
their
been a
backs.
skirmish dissolves quickly.
Still pushing
4
top
members
lane.
of Evil Geniuses still looking for a possible fight here as we have Toon setting up the submission play. They miss the Mammal Swine right there as here comes the Hoopa Unite.
Rings are unbound. We're going for the stuns. There goes
Run,
Ducky,
Ducky, run!
stomping around with the Mammoth Swine. And
Ducky
again,
gets out.
expending Unite move resources here, but we're not fighting quite yet. Tries to go for the spun. Earthquake is in. Ducky wants to reposition.
Ooh, bad.
They are stunned and slowed down and
It's all right.
frozen. And that's the Articuno Unite with the cake.
Guard jump on the
being
back
built
line.
by Roland to help sustain the team. Knock arrow all over Articuno. And one
Nice, good
legendary
pickup.
bird dispatched by the starter.
Push him,
And
boys.
here they move. Zacian hiding in the tall grass, looking for the moment. Caught by the Spirit Shackle, has to peel away. Toon running in as the Machamp, looking for a possible KO. Zacian re-engaging, but Garchomp pushes them back right now. Evil Genius is now squaring up for a fight, and it looks like Root Dig's gonna have to run.
I mean, a credit to Roland there. They've been lobbing these dollops right on top of the players so they don't have to move at all to be able to get that healing from the dollops themselves, which is great. That's going to allow Evil Geniuses to focus on the fight, focus on the player ahead of them, instead of having to reposition, remaneuver to pick those up.
You see how unbelievably close this match is as we're at the 3-minute mark. 1 minute until Rayquaza hits the center of
Oh
the
my
map.
gosh, the Rayquaza fight's gonna be so
128. In all
big.
of that fight,
50
we did have
seconds.
Toon peel to the top path so that they could score. Level-wise, it's incredibly close. Score-wise, it's incredibly close. And both of these teams feel a little afraid to fight right now. They don't want to be the player to lose it for them.
Yeah, again, everybody really playing calm, and this is truly going to be the calm before the storm, because when Rayquaza hits the map, you gotta scrap.
Here we go. Reggie Alecki is going to be
another
walking
Alecki.
towards this tier 2, which could set Evil Geniuses up for a big score. However, Root Dignitas
Their
is
bot
going
lane
to
pick.
get the objective
Ooh,
of
the
bottom
Reggie
path.
steal buff
Yeah,
though
an
on
extremely powerful
on
buff,
Dig.
giving them more attack and special attack heading into our final moments here. With only 7 points separating these teams, it is going to be a brawl somewhere here at Rayquaza. Evil Geniuses Geniuses hiding in the tall grass, possibly looking to catch members of Root Dignitas sleeping here. If they can move in and start, they can start this fight right now.
Rings are unbound. They're going to pull the Machamp back through. We're ripping through Rayquaza. We're not even fighting each other. We're charging up to see the cake is built. Big sword. No, it's
they got it.
Machamp and all the faces of the secure tools that Evil Geniuses had the opportunity to use. It's the Machamp that squeezes through.
Dang.
And when you're in that blender and you get the Rayquaza, you also happen to get the rest of the team.
That's right. Huge points going in here for Root Dignitas. It's double time right now, so those 50s turn into Hundo Burgers. 121 to 580. Not over with a minute and a half left, but Evil Geniuses is going to need to run all the way across the map, KO members of Root Dignitas to make anything happen here. Just a full team wipe at Rayquaza.
I mean, these teams...
Tough fight there.
What a missed call on my part. I thought they were going to scrap a little bit, and everybody just threw everything in the
They just went, yeah, it was less of a team fight and more of a just trying to get the Rayquaza. We kind of put our blinders on.
When both teams are looking for the objective, but one is the aggressor, you definitely have a higher likelihood of securing. You know exactly what you're going for. I think Evil Geniuses did not at all expect what Dignitas was going to do. They're marching towards the tier 2 right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to score a bunch of points here. Back the other way on the mini-map, you can see Root Dig is getting the counter scores in, as we're just taking a landscape image of Arthea Sky Ruins here. But really, things have just settled down. Root Dig going to take game 1.
Yeah, nothing we can do here. Evil Geniuses simply don't have enough points to score. 403 to 890. A first match here.
It's all right, we got them in the next one.
That I would say was extremely timid from both of these squads. Able to scrap with each other, but I truly felt like with all the
I think we needed to get some sort of catch at the Rayquaza to make it a 4v5. We just kind of like went gung-ho on the Rayquaza.
Or the submission right into a big combo and be the reason that they lost. And because of that, we had our teams farm, get a ton of experience, and then head to Rayquaza for a massive fight at the end.
That's all right. Warming up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very rare that these two teams completely avoid attacking each other and focus so much on the map. But at the end of the day, like you said, the scoreline is what wins, and getting the Rayquaza there certainly puts you in the driver's seat.
It feels like both teams were looking almost to counterpunch each other. Either catch them or counterpunch. And because of that, we didn't have
honestly, I almost feel like it would have been better to like just fight them while they're trying to get the Rayquaza. Both teams were just like going so hard on the Rayquaza.
Again, this is a best of 5 here in our grand finals.
Tough fight.
They're going to need to do that a few more times before they dispatch Evil Geniuses. Evil Geniuses have a lot of opportunities to come back in this.
Yeah, we're watching again. This is the few times that they did decide to fight. Here's we're firing off some Unite moves. You saw the knock-knock area. You saw the all-creamy cake. Of course, Articuno in the front lines using its own Unite move and getting hit with the massive arrow of the last arrow of the knock-knock arrow.
Here we have this kind of final rip here as both of our teams are looking for the objective. Mamoswine moving in. We're going to slow it down for you. Alchemy goes into the big cake thinking there's a fight, but there's not really going to be a fight happening here. It's just going to be a rip. The Livid Outrage on the objective. Zacian charging up the Unite move. There's the Psyshock, Psybeam, and the Machamp Unite. Root Dignitas really had everything ready to go for that. They threw everything at red.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Sovereign Sword, everything was going into that direction. And actually, if you saw in the top right corner of your screen, you actually had Kyrios that lined up a pretty good Spirit Shackle as well. And that was a heck of a dice roll. Dignitas rolling big.
Yeah. Big win for them. Toon, our player of the game. And
we got him on this one. I believe, boys.
Right here.
It ain't over yet.
Knockout game this was. Our player of the game on a massive carry Pokemon, only picking up 2 knockouts and 4 assists. It felt like no one wanted to brawl. Moltres with 18,000 damage right here. It just was a very calm game from these two teams. And I wonder if now that Dignitas has taken a victory, they're going to get a little more aggressive, start to put pressure on Evil Geniuses.
Well, certainly Evil Geniuses, I think it needs to match that intensity. I would love to see them not be complacent here in the second game and really put the pedal to the metal. You don't know what Root Dig's going to do, but you certainly have agency on how you're going to approach that second game. And if I were them, I would ramp it up, and I would ramp it up quickly.
I love that a team gets aggressive like that, knows they can make a play and goes for it. And to be fair to Root Dignitas, when you look at a moment like that and you think of it as a flip, they had every single piece of their secure tool ready to go. So Evil Geniuses is not they're probably shocked that they're actually going for a rip right here. Meanwhile, we've got the Machamp Unite, the Psybeam, the Sovereign Sword, every single thing you can throw onto the
Parabella, how are you?
go for it right away.
All right, let's see what our bands are looking like.
Will be Kyogre.
Still keeping Otter
so
off that Mew.
Rayquaza, Kyogre in the middle of the map here as our bands coming out. We've got the Psyduck, the Espeon, Mew, Moltres from Evil Geniuses. Not shocked there. It really has felt like a insanely powerful pick all weekend, except when you and I are dueling, my friend.
Yeah, it's not great. I do think that Espeon, Moltres, and Mew, specifically between these two teams, should always be in those 6 blocks at the top here. Zacian, unsurprising, going to be banned. So is Snorlax. Zacian, again, a contested pick.
Yeah, drink some water.
Team specifically. We'll see where Zugrug is going to lead us off.
Yeah, what's the first pick here for Dig? I mean, there are a lot of great options. There are Pokemon that they could grab here. You could go with a Machamp again if you want to set up some big plays, but without your Espeon, I'm not sure that that's something you're going to be grabbing.
I wonder if we'll go with
a lot of
Hoopa.
Strong bands, and they're going to go with
Charizard
Mega
Y.
Charizard Y.
Yeah, that was banned actually in the first game. Now EG, having let it loose, invested into is a first pick by Root Dig. EG has the opportunity to respond.
Got the Blissey
pick. We'll see where Chris Smith ends up.
We're going to see where Chris wants to go here. Mega Lucario has been a powerful Pokemon for Chris Smith, but
Mimikyu, okay, I like
love
that.
This with the shutdown Unite move it has, the play with me, giving you the ability to throw
I have
that
not had a
cover
chance to
over
play
a
yet.
Pokemon and stop them from really what they want to do. It's great with a Pokemon like Charizard that takes to the sky. You're going to shut down a huge amount of its Unite.
Are they picking up the Hoopa
Blissey
again?
As well, top tier support character, especially with that Bliss Assistance Unite move. However, Ender might be one of the best Hoopas moving, and they lock that in here. Mega Lucario finding its way through, a Pokemon that you and I have been pretty tepid on, but these top teams are really psyched about.
Yeah, a few of the top teams love Mega
Zapdos,
Lucario, and you see it have some amazing games. You see it have other games where it really just doesn't have much of an impact. One that I absolutely
Ducky loves his
love
Mamoswine.
and fear, especially early in the game, Zapdos. So unbelievably strong. And I always love when I hear from someone who hasn't watched Unite in a minute, and they're like, they have Zapdos and Articuno on their team now. Yes, Zapdos, the former boss monster in the middle of our map, is now playable on a squad, and it is so strong in that attacker slot.
Otter grabbing Miraidon and Zugrug going back to the Articuno, getting it as their last pick. We call
All right,
this
Curious, who are you
true
carrying
last
us
pick
on?
from Evil Geniuses, the gutter pick, because it gives you, well, it's last, and it gives you the opportunity to counter everything on the other side. You have perfect information. What is Curious going to expend this on?
Latios.
Latios, and you know, Curious has been playing this, I think, mostly with Dragon Pulse from what I've seen.
We did see on day one Curious go 14-0 on a Latios. I want to see a repeat of that.
Damage almost in this area. Once it gets going and multiple meteors are following, it can wipe out Pokemon very quickly. However, Dragon Pulse gives you more mobility, the option to kind of move in and out of combat with that dash and then look for targets, but you're not going to be able to hit as many at once. We'll see what Curious wants to play here heading into game 2. This also feels like a composition from both of these squads that doesn't want to fight a lot early. It wants to fight once they hit their big Unite moves like Charizard's.
Without a doubt. Latios, of course, is going to be important to get that stacked up throughout the course of the game as well to make sure it's dealing that maximum amount of damage. It's going to be really on Curious to manage their distance from these fights when these teams do engage, because there's a lot of trouble waiting for them if they overextend.
All right, let's even it up.
No question about it as our teams are getting set up here. You can see on the side of Root Dig Tune there with the Curse Bangle, that item giving you the ability to decrease the healing on your opponent's side. Could be very powerful depending on what kind of Blissey we see as Evil Geniuses and Root Dig are squaring up here on Thea Sky Ruins. Root Dignitas, your purple team. Evil Geniuses, your orange team. Game 2 of our grand finals.
Ender going on an invade. Looks like Otter is going to be down in the bottom path by themselves. They're going to try and stress Curious a little bit here early and buy time for Toon to get this Charizard online.
We're going to see if he's able to secure this here away from Curious. It would be a massive secure. Hoopa is able to do this right now, looking for him. No, Curious able to take that from Ender. And Ender really hasn't lost much by doing this. Look how much time he is wasting.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Roland going to go across the way as the Chansey and try and do the same thing. really invade, stress the ability of these Pokemon to level up and evolve. And it looks like Kyrios gets out with both buffs and feels pretty good.
He does feel pretty good about it, but Ender slowed them down considerably in that moment as we have what looks like a fight breaking out in the bottom path now between multiple members of Root Dig. No, Charizard is actually going to move top here. Kyrios hiding in the tall grass. This could be dangerous for Otter.
Yeah, Toon rotating in. It's still 3v2. A lot of damage. Here comes Vin putting pressure on.
Get him,
Ender
Vin.
with a nice little stun on the backside here actually is enough to stymie the whole push.
Wow, I mean, that looked like a great catch from Evil Geniuses trying to get them a ride on, but with 2 players rotating down from Root Dignitas, they are now going to peel back. In the top path, it looks like we have a bit of a brawl breaking out as well, but I think they're just going to fade back after this experience. No, Kyrios actually made their way to the top path too.
Root Dig versus Evil Geniuses met 3 times in the UCS leagues, and EG won 1 set 2-0, Dig won 1 set 2-1, and Dig won in the playoffs in the full best of 5 3-2.
Yeah, here we go, big time Ice Fang.
Nice
Articuno
pickup.
And goes
Good
down.
KO.
Evil Geniuses now trying to take some of this experience away from the side of Root Dig.
I'll tell you what, Ducky on this Mamoswine has been something special to watch all weekend long. From obviously the clutch B press to send them to the grand finals in that game 5 against Deep Cross, to every single Ice Fang you see this player put together results in big knockouts for the team.
Yeah, I genuinely would consider banning Ducky's Mamoswine. I want to see if he's got anything else. Big fight here from Root Dignitas.
The Blizzard freezes too. Now the pressure is on. The chase continues. Chris Smith trying to peel back to their squad as the fully powered up charge beam can't quite deal enough damage to get the knockout.
And they're looking for a moment right here. Everyone from Evil Genius is using that goal zone to give themselves some shields and heal up a little bit before this next fight, seeing how much of this experience they can get.
I mean, these teams historically would fight so much more than this, but like you said, they're playing incredibly conservative, not only in game 1, but it looks like to be the same tactic here in game number 2.
Yeah, I just think no one wants to be caught in these moments. It's a battle for all of this experience, of course, between these top and bottom paths. And now our objectives are here. Toon, the Mega Charizard, is looking for their experience. If they can hit level 9, get their Unite move, it would be a massive difference maker at one of these fights. Just using the charge beam there from Miraidon to try to zone out members of Evil Geniuses. No one going for an objective yet. Toon just ticked over to level 9. Here they come to the bottom path.
Zugrug and Otter doing a great job buying time to let the fully powered Charizard Y get into the mix here with that Unite move, and it's going to be enough for Evil Geniuses to just kind of fade back. Here comes Kyrios.
Oh, the steal!
Low, and I can't believe
the Blissey
Holden
steal
just secured that. We've seen Blissey secures not only this weekend, but historically great.
Get
now
that
the fight
Charizard.
is on in the
Let's
Mega
go.
Charizard. Y goes down. All of a sudden, Evil Geniuses heard us, said, playing conservative, doubt it, son. We are
Let's
bringing the pedal to the
go.
metal. Give us a couple knockouts, give us a secure, give us a goal zone.
Good
What a
push,
beautiful
boys.
play there from EG, the heroic egg bomb secure from Blissey. If you blinked, you would have missed it right there, but that's something that Blissey specifically Roland is known for there. They get the secure. Charizard moves in.
Crazy.
The insane burst damage
Some
from
knockouts
EG.
up top.
The Unite move didn't matter at all on the side of Root Dignitas. Beautiful Zap Unite, by the way, to not only allow both your allies to score, but then have the defenseless goal zone. Big score in the bottom path. EG up huge in game 2.
And now they're getting
That's what I like to
Regieleki,
see.
another scoring device here on the map as
That's
they're
the
going to secure
Regieleki.
that. And they're going back. Ducky frontlining in the face of 2. Nice
Ducky
Ice
just
Fang
going
reposition
ham.
into the trick room. Zugrug
Get him.
taking a ton of damage.
He's going
the
full
goal
bore.
zone is now unlocked, and there's an opportunity for even more scores to go in. Zug is getting chased. They actually get pulled back through the Phantom Force trick combination from the Hoopa.
That was an ankle-breaking moment if I've ever seen one. You might have wondered what happened right there. With Trick Phantom Force, they were able to use the Phantom Force's first position to back through a portal. And
Oh, got him.
Holy smokes, that Zapdos damage, dude. Toon thought he was in the clear and hiding out in the tall grass. You know, not just any wild Pokemon. That's a Zapdos.
That's a Zapdos hiding in the tall grass waiting for you. Very, very scary, and probably only something you could see in Pokemon Unite. Beautiful plays there from Zugrug to move through that portal, but what a catch there from EG. And again, still
got
up
4
on the
bot
scoreboard.
lane.
32-171, taking huge fights, and the burst damage from Evil Geniuses is getting out of control right now.
What else is kind of sliding out of control is this level lead that Evil Geniuses has. The Charizard just tipped over to level 11. We've got Curios on 12. We got Zapdos on 11. I mean, we've got Ducky about to tick over to 10. They go straight to the Hoopa. Ice Fang, reposition on them, and they are rings unbound. Ender trying to pull the team through that portal, and we'll see if anybody actually takes the cake. Yes, they go right through, and it is secured by Zealot. Now they're moving forward, and Evil Geniuses
gave up the buff, but good team fight, 2 for nothing.
Is down. Ducky goes in, gets frozen by the blizzard, that ice counterpart that they have on the other side, and Evil Geniuses is pushing forward. Roland giving them the HP they might need to sustain and survive. Curios barely gets out. Zealot goes into the back line with the power.
Here comes Chris Smith
for
the cleanup.
Otter's getting tons of pressure from Chris Smith. They're
nice.
Isolated against the wall, and they're gone.
Good
and
team
Root
fight.
Dignitas
Good team fight.
Is wondering if they even left the starting blocks in this race.
What a beautiful play there from EG, just weaving in and out of that fight. It got extremely scary for them for a few moments there, but they stayed in the pocket. They kept fighting as a squad, tried to punish Root Dig, and by the time Mimikyu got down there, it was over for Dignitas. Heading up to the top path here, we are looking for this objective. It looks like it's already being ripped here by EG.
We gotta push our
is huge right now on this Zapdos.
Push our advantage a little bit here.
3 minutes, 15
got a lot of points to score.
Is moving through this trick room as well at this Mimikyu. So much pressure. Zubrug is low.
Good job, good
Zubrug's
job.
gone.
Get that lucky
up,
in.
They can't do much. Trying to score 50. The insolence, says Root Dignitas. They're looking to push back. Bang, they finally do get Chris Smith down. On the back line, Mega Charizard wide, goes ultimate for sure, and they're looking to leverage that Unite move. At least they got
oh my gosh, that Charizard is on a sliver.
Wow, I mean, look at this Charizard here, almost 0 HP. I can't believe they're not in the Pokemon Center already. Here comes Curios looking for the 50 points, and they do get it. 66 to 241.
Right, broke top turret,
right
tier
now,
1.
Using that Dragon Pulse has been stacking Aeon power
all
game.
Mid spawn in 30
seconds.
seconds.
Every time they hit with the Dragon Pulse, it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. That is one of the characteristics of Latios, and now you saw how much damage it did with a single shot to that Charizard.
We have about 15 seconds until Kyogre in the middle of the map. Positioning is Evil Geniuses. Rotating through the top is Root Dig. Gonna try and balance the score sheet here before Kyogre arrives.
Chris Smith actually moving to the tall grass right here. This is a little dangerous here, but I think they're trying to bait a play out of Root Dignitas. See if they can catch someone right now. Ducky hiding, they look for Charizard and they get him!
Ducky poaches,
Good pick, good pick.
damage back in. They line up the Unite moves on the
still
wrong
up,
target.
still up.
Rings run bound on the backside to try and save the team. The trick room is
they got
down,
the
so
Articuno.
is Zugrug. And
Ducky's
now
still
Evil
alive.
Geniuses is in control. Ducky on low
Healed up
HP,
a little bit by
eats a
Blissey.
soft-boiled egg, get their HP back. The trick room is down and they're chasing the Hoopa, but now Chris Smith is on the backside of a nightmare. Root Dignitas is all over them and they get the knockout. Curio steps up, the Mega Charizard wise back into the action. Still has half HP, big time charge beam, huge fight, trick Hoopa combination gets them back out of dodge. And now it's Root Dig taking control. They're all over this Evil Geniuses team. Live Evil will be the bad ones today. We're gonna keep the screws to you. Vin taking low HP, they've been non-existent in the backside of this game. Kyogre's getting
We got it!
No,
No, he cut it. No. I thought this was Kyogre. Oh, I don't know what's that. Who got it?
It's Root Dig.
We did not get the buff. Oh my gosh, I just saw them pop up.
Secures in the middle of that massive
it was the
fight. They were
KOs.
ripping and fighting at the same time, moving forward here, going for Mamoswine. They had a massive catch on Charizard, but it survived just on a sliver, allowing Root Dignitas to reposition.
All right, it's not over
move
yet.
Back in with Mega Charizard and secure a huge victory at
All right,
Kyogre.
we got to score.
However, Doob Snacks, 316 to 241. This game is still within striking distance for EG.
40 seconds.
40 seconds left on the clock. They have to make a huge play, and they have to make it now.
And they have Zapdos, right? If they get that Zapdos Unite move back and they can unlock a goal zone for a free
Do we
score,
have any points?
that might
27
be their way
seconds.
back in. You can actually see Vin working to get that Unite move back right now. Evil Geniuses needs to play this cat and mouse game of defending their own goal zone and going to score. Curios finding Ender isn't that bad of a look.
Oh, I think
Here's
Ender's
Roland's
pushing
gonna be able
for
to see that.
points.
Zap has the Unite move. They're moving towards the bottom goal zone with 10
Ender's looking
seconds
at back
left.
score.
Hoopa heads to the main goal. They score. They're sieging the bottom goal zone, looking for it. The Zapdos
It's
Unite.
unlocked.
The Articuno Unite to counter!
The Articuno blocked the clutch play out of Zugrug. Puts the iceberg, which means that goal zone is shut down until you burn that iceberg down.
We got to win 3 in a row.
Defensive counter punch by Root Dig to secure that one.
It's
Holy
okay.
smokes, bro.
The Articuno
Man, our mid fights are not going well.
Goal zone creates this massive massive iceberg that the team needs to deal with. So while they had the perfect Zapdos play, Root Dig
All right, 3 in a row. Here we go.
in their back pocket to stop them at the last minute. And a sneaky play from Hoopa makes it even more difficult because they would need to push past that goal zone regardless. Phenomenally played by Dignitas.
That last fight.
What do you guys think? Is the Hoopa worth a ban?
Evil Geniuses. Ducky goes in and gets the target, right?
Yes.
They put this on the shoulders of the kid. We see him right there. He gets the target they are looking for. Curios's Unite move from the Latios lines on the wrong target. And that allows Toon to get out of dodge. And then all of a sudden, Evil Genius's fight kind of turns to shambles after that. They all get split. We saw Chris Smith chasing the Hoopa.
Yeah, Chris Smith was. I would argue Chris Smith was out of position a little bit.
Once they were split apart,
after they didn't get the KO on the Charizard,
murks them back the other way.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Smith kind of like went off up on his own up top.
Charizard, if we can get this,
and then we just kind of fell apart.
Nothing. We're gonna see this moment right here. So
yeah, see right here, we get the catch on the Charizard. Charizard gets away, right? Ducky comes back, right? We get Articuno, 5v4, and then look at watch what.
With Articuno going down, it felt like they could
do no now Christmas just goes off. That right here, that
by that point,
I think that was a bit of a misplay.
HP, and now Dig is taking a fight.
We had the advantage
here, using Mega Lucario to rip, Articuno zoning out the Zapdos, and then just looking for this final secure. And it is the Hoopa that gets it here. What do they get it with? It looks like it's maybe just a basic attack on the objective here. I think that is what secures it. Wow.
How many basic attack secures have we seen in these crazy, chaotic moments is honestly stunning.
Yeah.
This Root Dignitas on the bounce back there and the absolute cover. You also have to give a lot of credit here to Zugrug. Obviously, we're seeing the iceberg there. I want to give credit to Zugrug because once they did poach the Charizard, not to
time to go 3 in a row.
But they knew that they were going to throw all their moves and try to
the
knock
only
out
option,
Toon, right? Zugrug steps up and immediately hits their Unite move, which is what forces the Latios Unite move to track onto the Articuno rather than the Charizard. Why? Which is why they're able to backdoor, right? An amazing play out of Ender, putting a safe portal with the rings unbound so that those players could pull themselves out of danger. So this support core, Ender and Zug, they've been playing together for a long time, and they always got your back.
That's right. We got something fun for you at home. Go ahead and scan this QR code for Pokemon Poll so you can play along. And it sounds like we have got an interview out in the audience here that we're going to send it to
audience
in just
interview.
A moment. Doob Snacks. If that's ready to go, take it away.
Hello there, everybody. We have ventured out into the crowd and have found Samantha, Inder's girlfriend, on Root Dignitas. Now, obviously, that game 2 was looking a little bit dicey for Root Dignitas. What was going through your head watching that match?
I was so scared and nervous, but I believe in them so much. I've always believed since day one. Go Dig!
Well, they're only 1 win away from becoming the 2026 NAIC Final Stretch Champions. Any words of encouragement or manifestations you would like to put out there before they go into Game 3?
I believe in them so much. Dig is gonna win. Dig in 3!
There we go, folks. Thank you so much, Samantha, supporting Root Dignitas. Let's throw it back to the casters.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Our players are getting ready up on the big stage right now. Of course, it could be Dig in 3, which would be massive for them. Evil Geniuses now would have to pull off the reverse sweep, winning 3 in a row. It has been done before on a stage.
It's gonna happen. It's about to happen again. Man, I was feeling really good about that game too. It felt like we were really pulling ahead.
Back when we had best of 5 bracket resets, they reset the bracket and then went, I think it went to 9 games.
It might have been 100 games.
It was
that
a
day.
400 games also.
We used to do a 500 game grand finals.
Yeah,
and then someone said, cut it down to 5.
Production, if you can actually get the Snacks and Spraggles Venmo QR code up on the screen, we'd appreciate that as well.
Yeah, just go ahead and hit that on the screen right now. And it looks like we're not going to end up doing that. Another show, no Venmo.
That's what they say about us. Another show, no Venmo.
That's the first thing they say to us. Another show, no Venmo. Don't bring it up again.
I love these crowd interviews. I must say, getting some energy
Who?
from
What?
folks out there that have supported.
I'm trying to
these
think who's
teams
been the
all
most
year long.
impactful on
Cases
Dig's
much
team. Is it
longer
worth trying to
than
target
that.
ban some
It's
stuff?
terrific to see them going out there. There's a camera right here, so we're going to pose and point at it. You can't see that this is happening, but we definitely can. Perfect. We got the well done.
You know, Evil Geniuses, you were just talking about this, players following them all year, but you're right, even further than that. These are players that you have known since the start of Unite. These are some of the biggest names in North America that have played the game. And then a lot of these players that are kind of coming up in the scene, right? Chris Smith,
Get
and
Hoopa
Ducky,
out.
Zealot
Yeah,
on the side of Dignitas.
I feel like
It's really
Hoopa
cool.
could be
They
worth
have
a
been
ban
playing games
after
since before
these
they were
first two
eligible
games.
to compete in the championship series, and now here they are on
Plus,
the
they're already
second
having
biggest
to
stage
commit
of
to the
year. Of
Mew
course,
ban for
Worlds
Otter.
coming up very soon in San Francisco, which both of these teams are qualified for, will be the biggest stage. But this is really to prove who the best in North America is. I think a lot of people might have said it was Root Dignitas, and right now they're just one game away from proving that.
Yeah, I want to say how big the difference between Root Dig and every other team has shrunk, right? Root Dig is winning games, but with like support basic attacks, or Otter just securing everything for 3 straight games to give their team a spark of life. I mean, in that game too, it really was Evil Geniuses bell to bell until that final fight right there. Root Dig finding another way to snatch a victory out of the clutches of defeat. And here we are.
Our
going
mid-game
into
fights
game
have
number
not been
3.
good.
They're up 2-0 and can make this thing a clean sweep.
Yeah.
You know what? Everybody has their shovels, but it might be time to get out the broom.
I know, it's time to start sweeping here for Root Dignitas. No need to shovel anymore, just clean it all up right now. Evil Geniuses had a great game too, I think. Game 1 was close between both of these squads, and then everything happened all at once for Evil Geniuses, right? And it didn't happen in a great way for them. Game 2, however, I think their fights were going well. The catch on Charizard was massive. Then you've got the Articuno going down. It really felt like things were heading the way of Evil Geniuses, but what a well-played Kyogre fight by Dignitas. Here we go. Our draft could be our final draft of the Grand Finals as we are heading from the Kyogre to
you hear me from this one.
being our Pokemon in the middle of the map in 2 minutes.
This one is just so I can hear
Espeon
myself in
getting the
my
first ban. It
headphones.
looks like Mew might be getting the second one, and I agree. Like I said before, I think that's exactly where these teams want to start, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Moltres show up as well.
Yeah, it's a very good ban. Hoopa being picked.
Okay,
as
so
by
Dig banned
right
Hoopa.
there. Evil Geniuses now looking
Surprisingly.
for their next ban. Again, neither team are going to be able to play these Pokemon, but a lot of times you're using these bans to target a specific player, target a specific strategy that you just do not want to see on the other side.
We'll see where we end up here. I mean, Hoopa, obviously an incredible Pokemon here, and I believe we have a missed ban step. That can't be right. I'm going to ask
They
production.
maybe specifically tried to no ban for their second spot here and put them in an interesting situation. We'll see what happens here.
We are going through a reset because with your tournament life on the line, I think you want to be banning Pokemon. Spraggles, I think that's just where you want to be.
I think they're going to remake the draft.
So a little bit of a concern is raised. A concern will be dealt with. We'll get through this. Maybe instead of showing them just arbitrarily picking stuff, you can put the kids back on screen.
They're just
That
picking
is
random
me
stuff.
And Spraggles, why don't you just fire up that camera, put us on screen.
Look, if you have to put the Venmo up there, just put the Venmo up there, guys.
This is prime Venmo opportunities, and I'm sure they're loving that we keep talking about that. Draft is being remade. I just said that.
Throwing in the
Man,
ban
we're
phase.
all aligned
We
over
can't be
here.
throwing
It's
in draft.
Yeah, here we go. Evil Geniuses, Root Dignitas, as we are remaking this lobby really quick. They're going to head back into it, back into the draft. And yes, it's very unlikely that a team would not ban something in a moment like that. It raised a few red flags, I think, with everyone, and we're going to be heading back into this game. Evil Geniuses on ice for a moment right here, but so is Root Dig that has been on fire, and I think I would rather in
Take a
this
deep
moment
breath.
take a
Deep
second
breath.
as EG, collect ourselves, and let
Take your
Dignitas
chance.
cool off a little. You know, they're on a
We
run
got it.
already, 2-0.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Root Dig
gonna be the reverse
is
sweep.
showing up, showing out. They are kind of like Zuckrug said, you guys have been second place all year long, and we're going to keep you there. Evil Geniuses, use this extra time. You know, you see Curios with the pen out, maybe doing some battle math here. How
Taking
they
some
can get
notes.
themselves back into this match as they are down 0-2. Like we said, the last draft they put together was pretty darn good, executed pretty darn well, just not well enough. So I don't think they're far. They just need to convert.
Yeah. They're really close. In fact, I think that fight was looking so good for them in game number 2, right? It was.
Yup. Just cut off the casters.
One game away from becoming your champions.
Everybody looks pretty cool, calm, and collected right now. I'm going to wonder, in our draft phase, I'd imagine the Espeon and Mew were correct. Those will stay the same, probably the Hoopa as well, and we'll pick it up from there. We'll get that information to us shortly here to see when exactly this went off the rails. I presume.
Do I want to play some Unite games after they're done?
No ban
Probably not
decision,
today.
But just to make sure, we'll get that information for you.
Yeah, very possible.
I gotta
right?
spend some time with my family.
Having the first pick right there. Maybe there was
The
something.
weekend
Maybe they didn't
still.
want to ban the Espeon. Maybe they planned on taking it here, and we got an accidental ban. So we'll find out very soon how exactly this draft was supposed to play out for our 2 squads.
Now, a lot of people ask, dude, why did you pick Root Dig in the head-to-head here? And honestly, I thought the question was, whose jersey has the largest lapels? And I thought,
Yeah, I
that's
missed
what
my brother's
was picking.
birthday
That
dinner
clear
last
answer
night.
is Root Dig. Their lapels on their jerseys
Because we went, the Dig game went 4 games, and then we went 5 games
from event to event,
for the
which
match.
I think is impressive, impractical, and very Dignitas.
Agreed. Evil Geniuses, on the other hand, layers of swagger to them. Of course, they've got their jerseys. We've seen the windbreaker. Chris Smith just took his off as things are heating up here in New Orleans. The lapel game on this is stunning to me.
It really is out of control. And they know that. There's Grug up on the big stage. Dig, you know, this is that interesting moment, right? I know they're feeling pretty good. They're 1 game away, but something you hear a lot of these pro players say, especially members on Dignitas, job's not done. Job's not done. You can't even crack a smile, especially if you're 2, and that's on and off stage. But job is not done here. They are 1 game away, but we have seen things swing in wild directions like this before, where Evil Geniuses comes back and wins the entire thing. So while they're feeling good, they are not confident, they are not ready until the job is finished, as our teams are getting back into our draft here for our grand finals. Root Dignitas will be the first ban. Espeon stays banned here. Evil Geniuses on the other side could be looking at you, but no, it was right away since the Snorlax.
Yep, Snorlax, so that means where Evil Geniuses wanted to go. And honestly, Mew made sense, right? Like, Mew is something we've talked about, so Evil Geniuses' banning of Mew was pretty unsurprising. We'll see how Root Dig reacts now, and they banned Dodrio.
Yeah, what's with the Dodrio ban?
Yeah, it might be that they know a specific strategy that EG likes to throw out in a position like this, and they want to shut that down entirely. It looks like you at home believe Root Dignitas is going to win this whole thing. I mean, we did put the poll up when they were already 2-0, so I think that skews it a little bit. But I also think Dignitas looks fantastic here. They look to be the best team in North America, maybe the best in the world.
Ooh, they let Mew through.
Okay, so we've got Hoopa Blissey to round it out. Root Dig has
They
the
let
opportunity
the
of giving
Mew
Otter
through.
a Pokemon that single-handedly saved them in 3 consecutive games yesterday. We'll see if that's
Question is, does Otter pick up the
Kyle
Mew?
picks Zacian, and we're in deep waters now.
Yeah, this is interesting. If I'm EG, I really do think I want to take this Mew away from them here. Obviously, they have players who could use it very well. But instead, they want the Charizard.
Charizard Y,
now
okay.
Forcing their
And the
hand.
Psyduck.
Dignitas might
Support.
just grab the Mew right here to make sure that it's not stolen away, unless they have another strategy they've been preparing. But it would seem crazy not to give this to Otter right now.
Without
I can hear someone cheering in the crowd that Otter locked in the Mew. Of course.
Yeah, without a doubt. It is a spectacular Pokemon on a spectacular player, and my favorite
Ooh,
player to
the
watch.
Comfy.
Not close. Of course, Ducky on the Duck makes sense. Sewer Curious goes.
It's written in the name. You
It's
have
in
to
there.
do it
It's
once. I
Duck
think
plus Y.
contractually they have to do
play
it once.
at least once. Curious eyeing up Typhlosion, rolling on
Ooh, Typhlosion Alchemy, okay.
More surprised on the Typhlosion. I saw you just fist
Does
bump.
Chris
This
Smith
Pokemon
go
you
Mega
talked about.
Lucario, you think?
Duraladizzle, the Duraludon on the other
Mega
side.
Lucario or
the sentient
Machamp
asthma inhaler
is
ready to
open.
go.
Here we go. Duraludon on one side, the newly released Typhlosion on the other. This is going to be an exciting one. Ender deciding what they want
I can
to
see
lock
it
in
with
here.
the
Looks like
Machamp
they
pickup.
are
Machamp's
going
not banned.
with the Eldegoss. So much range damage on the
I can also
side.
see the Mega
of
Lucario, though.
Eldegoss pretty solid. The Flash Cannon Duraludon is pretty incredible. Then, of course, you have Mew. And now our final pick for EG is going to be Mega Lucario. So they don't have an incredible amount of dive on the side of Evil Geniuses until you get that Charizard online, then Typhlosion, Flame Wheels in. All of a sudden, it becomes a close range fight. Going to be very interesting to see how they want to play and at what distance they want to fight Root Dig.
It's going to be fun. I think we're going to see maybe a Flash Cannon Duraludon with the Rock Tomb from the Crustle to kind of create a protection wall in front of it. Plus, you still have the Eldegoss that can lob the Pollen Puffs for heals. And then Zealot will just do their job frontlining as Zacian.
And there we have Groudon in the center of our map. Whichever team is able to take this buff does have the increased scoring speed, but also a massive damage boost. The cool thing about Groudon and Kyogre, both of these buffs are transferable. So one team can take the objective, and then the other team can knock them out and get those buffs. It makes the end game extremely wild in some of these situations, and it's one of my absolute favorite things that happens here at the Pokemon Unite Championship Series. And that's what they're playing for, Doob Snacks. The title right there, the champion of NAIC, could be decided in just 10 short minutes as our teams are locked in, ready to go.
Champion won't be decided for 30 minutes because it's going to go to game 5. EG's going to take it away.
Orange team, if Root Dig wins this, they are your champions.
10 short minutes away to see if we get ourselves a champion or if Evil Geniuses keeps their run alive here. They already have a second place finish at an NAIC this year. They'd love to upgrade that real quick.
We did see a text box pop up there, but there's a lot of words in there.
So many words.
They said, you know what, we got to cut this down. It's filling up the whole thing. So we'll find out what production was trying to tell us here in just a moment as we're watching these two teams scrap in the top path.
Zacian, again, great early game. Surprisingly enough, the Gossifleur, even pretty decent at the start, despite having not evolved. Christmas is just running right at them, using the big punch to reposition and get a decent amount of that experience.
And here we go. They're looking to get this secure right here. Charizard making their way to the top path here. Cyndaquil does go down in the bottom path. Nice stuff there from Dignitas. It's too many words, gentlemen.
We can barely read. Please
give us make less. It 3 words.
Give us less. Holy smokes. All right, 3 players up top. Vin, level 5 here. They're going to want these Swablu and Altaria for sure. Zealot with a good presence. Zugrug ready to go. Everybody's coming up. They're going to siege this goal
they're rotating
zone.
hard.
The Flash Cannon is down. The Rock Tomb traps Chris Smith. They have the eject button over the wall. Not even the opportunity to score, though. Root Dig didn't get the catch they wanted. Peel back just a hair.
They did get a really nice eject button right there, and they probably don't know they're still hiding here in the tall grass, looking for their opportunity. Now peeling away from this once again is Evil Geniuses. Root Dig ahead right now, 38-0, making a lot of big plays. And look in the central area right there. We have Crustle invading the Charizard.
Nice little pressure by Curios on Otter the Mew. They go for a score, take a ton of damage from the legendary Pokemon. Ducky there to try to get them out of dodge. Nice Rock Tomb. Curios is in trouble. Ejects through the Crustler, gets back to pad.
Here we go. Can they defend here if they decide to push as Duraludon is making their way through the center? We have been only level 6 right now, not yet a Charizard. On the other side, there's a level 7 Duraludon. They've set up some huge plays with it. I mean, you call it how this Rock Tomb and Duraludon was going to play
We're on the chopping block
now
here.
It looks like they're going to be getting this Regidrago for
I'm
free
locked
Evil
in.
Geniuses wants to peel up here and try to steal.
Yeah, they're going to have to, right? They've got to do something, because right now they're just kind of getting bullied on their side of the map, and Root Dignitas is playing a pretty clean game right now.
Yeah, Root Dig is having an incredible match so far. Toon almost 9 as always, heading to this objective. You can see Vin there, again, not even level 7. They are not yet Charizard, trying to secure a ton of this. They also get the KO. Wow, Dignitas with a strong start here in game 3.
With the lack of presence that EG showed right there, I'm surprised Vin didn't go back to the central area sooner just to try and get evolved. And finally they do. Typhlosion on the Flame Wheel.
Man, we're lagging in levels a little bit here, chat.
And Regirock's going to go to Root Dig for free.
Yeah, I mean, this is just an easy one for Root Dig. No one from Evil Genius is able to stop them. Still a level 6 from Curios. The Crustle on the other side's higher.
Here comes Root Dig. They see Regieleki is getting shredded by Evil Geniuses, and they want the fight. Big X Scissor into the wall.
Nice, we got the Regieleki.
Mega Lucario, Christmas stepping up for the squad. They needed to get something, and that's at least a sign of life.
Oh, and here we go. Charizard's at level 9 right now. They could look for a big fight as we have 5 members of Evil Geniuses here. If they go for it, this could be a huge turn.
Swooped in this, guys, after the Flame Wheel engaged by Typhlosion, burning down the countryside as the Mega Charizard Y. Regieleki's on the doorstep, but another quality defense out of Root Dig. They keep their composure, unleash the Flash Cannon and a Rock Tomb, and everybody has to run away.
Amazing stuff there from Dignitas, able to counter that perfectly. Charizard gets really no value for their Unite move as more points are going in for Root Dig. 152-0, and Zero's not good.
Zero is not
great.
One of the worst scores.
That is
Production check on that. Is 0 one of the lowest?
Is it
3 words only,
in this
thank you.
game? Yeah, only 3 words. Is it low?
All right, we're on the board.
Yes is probably the answer.
I think yes would be great.
Yes would be terrific. Production, please put up the text yes. I will say this though, this scoreline is very reminiscent of game number 2, and Evil Geniuses was in the driver's seat with a similar scoreline and a similar level lead.
All it takes is one good fight.
They were able to make that is 4 words.
That is 4
Holy
words. They do it
smokes,
immediately
production.
and they peeled it away.
I would have done the same thing if I were them. Use 3 words or less, better make it 4.
Better make it 4 as here we go. We have Evil Geniuses getting ready for the next fight. What they need, of course, is Charizard to have their Unite move.
Yep.
They are ticking towards that, heading down to this bottom path, and they have it. 4 Unites on the side of Evil Geniuses, 3 Unites on the side of Root Dignitas. Crustle getting some information from the squad. They know exactly where EG is, and we're going to see how this fight decides to kick off.
Root Dig looking to collapse on the head of Evil Geniuses. They're well spread out. Roland trying to get an eye, and so is Ducky. We'll see if there's an opportunity here. They might use the Flame Wheel from Curios to engage, and that's
good
straight
pull
to
on
the ground,
2.
right on top. The Ruin is down. Charizard
Nice.
snatches them up, and Duraludon is
Groudon's
gone
down.
before they can use any
Push,
moves.
boys,
Another
push,
Flame Wheel
boys.
on top of Eldegoss. Ender's down, and all of a sudden
let's
the
pick up
team
the
fight's going
Regice.
the way of Evil Geniuses as they're looking pretty good. The Rock Tomb's a hair too early, and that means Evil Geniuses gets themselves a Regice buff.
All right, EG, right back in this thing, and they needed it. And now we're under the 5-minute mark, and things seem to be working for them. They have some experience, they have some levels, and
Nice,
finally
broke the
they have
tower.
some points. 152, make that 169 to 107 here.
Note what is not low. Toon put up 13 KOs and 106,000 damage on Duraludon yesterday. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
106,000 is in fact higher than 0.
Yep, production, check it. As we have Zacian moving up to the tall path right here. Possible fight over this Regieleki. Typhlosion moving in. They're looking for the secure on the side of Evil Geniuses. We got the power-up punch. They go for it, but no! It's Otter with the
Otter,
Mew!
that
Of
stupid
course, how
Mew!
predictable. Otter with a secure on Mew as the day is long. Sovereign Sword, I believe, was just used for no super value, but here's the Ruin put down by Duraludon. Regieleki hits. That's at 1. Great opportunity for a big over if somebody's pockets are full.
Yeah, and it looks like they didn't have enough there. They're going to probably put some more points on the Mew if they decide to break it right now, and they do. Mew grabbing as much as they can. 28 points going to that goal zone, 217 to 107. And it's true, if Otter's around an objective, it is not safe. Taking it from the hands of Evil Geniuses, even though they had the Lucario power-up punch ready to go.
I think Zealot might know exactly where Curious is. We'll decide if anybody wants to engage here. You can see them making sure that their boosted attack is ready to go, just swinging in the tall grass. Swablu and Altaria have populated. Nobody willing to make a move, willing to expose themselves here and potentially get into a team fight.
Yeah, it looks like they both go, I know you're there. You know I'm here.
I know,
what are we going to do
I
about
know
that?
you're here, but I don't like
He's
know
gonna- oh, Kyr's gonna get
exactly
engaged
where, but
on.
with Zugrug stepping up, this is a great opportunity. Solar Beam to kick this thing off. Zealot steps out. Flame Wheel right on top. They wanted the Zacian action. The close combat from Mega Lucario doesn't quite hit. The Flash Cannon there. Flame Wheel out. Zugrug trapping Finn a little bit. Ducky's headache pops and procs, and now all of a sudden, Root Dig has control of the bottom path, and they're taking
Reggie
themselves
steals a big
Registeel.
buff.
Yeah, they get it right here, which is a massive buff heading into this final fight. Registeel giving them a ton of attack and special attack, especially with something like this
We need a
Duraludon
pick.
just doing insane damage
to
from
not get
afar.
picked.
They're looking for it right here.
Oh, our
10
levels are
seconds to what
tough,
could
man.
Be our final objective here at NAIC.
They jump right on top of Toon. The revolving ruin is down. They're looking for a fight here, scrambling everywhere. These players then finally snatches
Charizard's
somebody
up.
in the guys. They're trying to burn them now.
Tunes down.
Duraludon is gone. Now
Come on, come on, guys.
Low HP though, and here comes the Zacian. They're looking for trap more characters, and they're fighting on the backside. But everybody's having to scramble and run away. Big E-Ball gets a knockout on the Mega Lucario, and Otter's on the chase, rolling it down. He's running it down because they're gone. KO streak of 2 from the walking highlight reel that is Otter. Groudon is getting shredded. In the pocket is Ducky and Finn. Do we have any heroics left in the tank?
Yes! Let's go, Ducky! The GOAT, the GOAT!
Legendary child that anchors down evil geniuses. Talk about pure
Let's go!
evil. This duck is nasty.
Ender looking
Oh my gosh, he's still alive. Ducky, my GOAT, my GOAT, my GOAT.
EG is right back in this off of the hero play from Ducky. They're still behind. They're looking to score here, and they need more than one huge score. 207, 217. Dignitas now
keep him at base, boys. Keep him at base, boys.
Getting ripped apart by EG.
Oh, teach me how to Ducky. This kid is on.
We're still down 10
after
points.
The Mammoth Swine save last night.
We've got to score.
Saving potential play right here. The counter punch is huge. They lost sight of the prize. 217, 307. Chris Smith is going to lose their buff, and Otter's carrying it.
All right, we're good. Ducky's at base. Ducky's at base. Scoring big points.
Back the other way. There is some work to be done, but
all right,
it is
defend, boys.
inside
35
here.
seconds.
Root Dig looking to push Duraludon off spawn.
Here we go. Root Dignitas moving towards this goal zone. Charizard making their way there. They are going to score a few points, but it's still 281, 407. Here comes Zacian looking for their moment. The cake to keep Charizard in the fight. Charizard takes to the sky.
20 seconds.
Down, 2 goes
Let's
down.
go, boys.
Ducky continues to score. 15 seconds left, and wow, EG pulled this out.
I can't believe they
oh my, Ducky just saved the game. Ducky literally just saved the game.
Ducky stepping up. Ducky getting it done. Ducky on the duck.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow, evil genius.
My blood pressure is rising.
Ducky gonna save you this weekend?
I mean, I feel like Ducky is doing an Otter impression right now. Otter saving everyone on Root Dig. Ducky saving EG's tournament lives.
my
And they're all
gosh.
scratching their heads and shaking their heads like, okay, we can't let that happen again, right? He's like, guys, please help me.
Yeah,
it's not what my character does, but I'm doing it. He's like, I'm doing it.
I'm trying. I can lip read. I'm trying my best out here. It's me versus 9 at this point.
The best picture from yesterday is all of evil geniuses hugging, and Ducky is just in the back with his hands crossed like an old man on his stomach as everybody is celebrating, and he's just like,
Mighty
look at all
Ducks.
this fine work I just did.
Quack.
It's
Quack.
an amazing
Quack.
thing in production.
Quack.
I know you
Quack.
have that
Quack.
picture
Quack.
somewhere.
Quack.
You should
Quack.
throw that
Quack.
up on screen because
Oh my
it's
gosh.
a legendary moment in the UCS series.
It's such an incredible shot from the win against Deep Cross yesterday. Now we're going to take a look at some of these moments right here. Of course, if there's an Otter, there is a chance to secure, but we also have on the side of evil geniuses the Mega Lucario. So funny, all the great secure tools we have with Mew and Mega Lucario and all of this, and it ends up, of course, being Ducky on a side up.
Ducky on the duck in game 3, Ender on the Hoopa in game 2. Is anything gonna go to script this weekend? Doesn't look like it. Might as well not start now.
Yeah, this was a beautiful moment here for Dignitas, and now we're going to be heading towards our big fight here soon. Getting this Reggie Steel buff, also just a massive win for them. Not able to get, the steal here from Evil Geniuses, but they had a steal coming that was pretty epic.
Without a doubt here. Revolving Ruin right in the middle, eject button reposition of the flash cannon here. And look at Finn, bagging the target they want. Duraludon eviscerated. That is exactly what they want to do, what they tried to execute in game 2. But look, roaring back is the rest of this team. Otter stepping up and taking control here and really putting tons of pressure on that E-ball, knocking out Mega Lucario and putting All Creamy on the chopping block. Otter goes for the chase down. They get that knockout. And watch my boy Ducky rolling right under. What are we going to go with? We're gonna go with a psychic. No basic attack.
It's a bubble beam. I think
Was
it was
it?
finally. Look, it could have been anything
Who
when
cares? It was
Ducky's
awesome.
around. It was awesome. Of course, Ducky secures.
Oh
we
my
are
gosh.
in this thing. It is not a 3-0. This was, by the way, a great push here by Root Dig to move them off the goal zone, steal some buffs. What a close game here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too, with these Groudon buffs, the fact that they can exchange every which way. But credit to Vin and Roland stepping up.
All right, what do you think? Mew, it still feels like Mew needs to be a priority ban. Like, Otter on Mew is just...
Root Dig is going to get the first ban, first pick. Excuse me, I was reading the names wrong here. Evil Genius's first ban, first pick. Root Dig are going to have those reactionary picks on the orange side. They're going to get back-to-back here.
Here we go. Espeon, of course, a powerful pick and a powerful ban, especially for both of these squads. They know how
There's
good
the Mew
it
ban.
is
Okay.
throughout these series. Evil Geniuses
Then do you
now
Hoopa ban
with Mew on the
too?
other side.
I don't know.
Why they ever gave it to Otter. That feels like criminal that Otter got
The
Mew.
fact that that's the game that they won is even more.
Maybe they'll leave
scary.
Snorlax so we get
Dodrio
Ducky on
is now
Snorlax.
banned Again, out
Nah,
of
we're
Root
banning
Dig.
him.
We're looking for the Snorlax. Is that where EG wants to go? Question mark.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Yeah, Snorlax is the ban. One of the best defenders going right now. Slots into any composition super well.
Charizard Y ban.
Dignitas
Who gets
deciding
first
they
pick?
don't want to let the first
Do
pick
we?
for EG be this
Hoopa?
Charizard. Now the question is, does Moltres pop back out given that it is
Hoopa or
available?
Moltres, maybe?
Extremely strong.
I feel like
Let's
if
see.
oh,
No,
let's go. We got the Hoopa. I feel like they would have picked
And
Hoopa if
here's
we
that
didn't.
moment from yesterday.
I think
Ducky
Ender
in the
would have
back.
picked Hoopa.
Ducky in the back. EG celebrating. Ducky, after securing the objective, needs to take a moment. While they all congratulate each other, Ducky just has to sit there and know.
That was yesterday. That was after the
That's
best of
most
5
memeable
yesterday.
picture of all time.
It's like when you win everything and your team is all out there celebrating. We did it! No, I did it.
Actually, it was just me, baby. All right, let's get back.
I
to
don't
this
understand
draft.
the Dugtrio
Hoopa
ban
first
either.
pick out of Evil Geniuses.
We got Machamp. Okay, I like that.
This whole
And
series,
Zacian.
Moltres
Okay.
and Psyduck counter
I'm
picks
liking our
out of
team
Zealot
so
and
far,
Ender,
chat.
So they're getting some prime
Put Ducky on
Pokemon.
Mamoswine.
Now, we have Zacian in the hands of Chris Smith. We have Machamp in the hands of Kyrios.
Oh, they're gonna
And
steal
where is
Mamoswine
Otter and
away.
Zug gonna go now?
No?
They're gonna cut off Ducky from Mamoswine.
Probably
or
pick Crustle
anything
again.
Else. We'll see. Looks like the Crustler out of Zugrun.
Yeah, I mean, it was extremely good. Their Crustle
It was
plays
very
are incredible. And
Who's
that's
Vin
a
gonna go?
move that I think is also
Zapdos?
so unbelievably frustrating to deal with,
Glaceon?
especially in that final fight, right?
Okay, the
Ooh,
Glaceon.
Vin on kind of
Icy,
the pocket
icy,
pick for
icy.
Vin, the Glaceon. Not many players in the competitive scene running it, but Vin does. And of course, Ducky back on Mamoswine. Perfect place for them to be. And Duraludon is coming back out here for Root Dignitas.
A very interesting pick, this Duraludon. Root Dig, one of the few teams playing it. Obviously, they did a ton of damage with it yesterday. Couldn't quite get it done here. But without that super isolating Unite move out of like the Mega Charizard Y we just saw, it might be tougher for EG to get into the Duraludon's face and knock it out.
Yeah, you know, we've got some interesting stuff here. I mean, Kyrios on Machamp. This is not only an incredible Pokemon, but Kyrios
Come on,
has
boys.
had, you know,
We're still in this. Game 4.
Saving plays on Machamp, so they are well known for this. I'm wondering what kind of combinations they're most excited to set up here. Obviously, submission and then grabbing with an Ice Fang. You could just have an insane amount of crowd control.
A lot of CC, yeah. My only concern is the Crustle being able to peel so well for the Duraludon. If we can't get in on
all of
it.
its burst damage, getting all of its recovery, you could make some huge plays and win the game there for the Evil Geniuses, and they're going to need it here. Evil Geniuses finally taking their first win in our best of 5. Root Dignitas still 1 game away from becoming your champions as we are taking a look at our battlefield. Thea, Sky, Ruins.
Oh no,
Glaceon's DPS. Be our boss monster in the middle there as our teams are getting ready.
Vin's our jungle. Vin's
Here
jungling,
we go.
right?
Evil Geniuses, your purple team. Root Dignitas, your orange team. 1 game away
Like
from
all
becoming
arounder
champions.
ganking
EG
stuff.
in their way.
What a powerful path between Moltres and Psyduck early for Root Dig. I would feel very comfortable if I was on their side right now. Running it down, no longer. Rolling it down, gonna keep the pressure on here because their early game is pretty darn solid as well.
Yes, it is. As we have the Duraludon in the central area for Dignitas, Glaceon in the central area for Evil Geniuses. Glaceon does take a little while to get online. Yes, they get a move at level 4, but it really isn't until level 6 that you really start to see the power out of this Pokemon. So they're funneling a lot of experience their way. As Duraludon already making their way to the bottom path right here, we could have a little bit of a fight if they're able to catch a member of Evil Geniuses, but they're playing very carefully at their goal zone.
It makes sense, right? We have 2 stage 2 Pokemon in the Machop and the Swinub right there, so it's easy to put the pressure on, potentially get some quality knockouts here. But it looks like Duraludon's going to put the pressure on in the top path as we rotate here.
They're heading to the top path right now, looking for a fight. They find Roland right here, and now they're trying to get some experience. Big time Flash Cannon, Zealot moving in.
Tons of damage being put down. The Icy Wind there out of Vin. We are going Trick Phantom Force Hoopa here as well to be able to get Vin in and out of danger here, especially when Toon goes into that flash cannon.
Yeah, now we have Glaceon heading back towards the center again. They're looking for that level 6 so they can really get their big power spike. Possibly looking for a fight in the bottom path, but no, they peel away. Roland just kind of poking at the side of Dignitas, making sure that they don't take over a ton of the map.
I mean, just the big pop of damage out of Zealot right there.
Pressure.
Trying to put the pressure on, but it's just a little behind on levels here. Using the Magician ability out of the Hoopa to pull a berry through from the opposite side of the map and give that to Christmas. There's got to be an opportunity to push, though. Zealot half HP, but the recovery on Moltres is huge.
And now we have the Psyduck in the central area here, just stealing away a buff from the side of Evil Geniuses. They know they didn't have time to grab it because Glaceon went to the bottom path here, so that's something they're going to go ahead and steal. Regidrago getting very, very low right here. Dignitas looking for the final hit, and they do get it. Heads over to the Duraludon.
Yep, that's going to be good experience for the squad here as look at Evil Geniuses looking to spring a trap on whomever has the insolence to cross onto their side of the Thea Sky Ruin. Christmas putting the pressure on, sees that their team is rolling through. It's just Ender and support, and we've got a 4v2. Let's see how they can leverage it now. We're using the headache from the Psyduck to get a little bit of space, and things have slowed down incredibly quickly. Nice psychic pull, bubble beam on the Machoke. They do get some points. And at least they're leaving with some points on the board.
Yeah, they got some points on the board. Really nice defenses there from Dignitas, but full-pocketed scores from the side of Evil Geniuses. They're going in once again.
Nice.
That's exactly what they're looking to do all game, right? They're going to get Ducky online, Earthquake, Ice Fang, submission, flip, and then the Ice burst of damage to shred Moltres before it gets to click any of its moves. That was well executed, and they're going to have to do that on repeat for the rest of the game.
Here we go. Regialecki trying to be stolen here, and it is stolen.
Ducky just stole the Regialecki bottom. My goat. My absolute goat.
He's the superstar.
Dude is a walking
Ducky is like, we are going to 5 games, even if I have to drag us there.
And they're both delivering this weekend.
Unbelievable.
Take that Moltres out. Get him, boys.
Another catch for EG. They're looking for it. The eject button. The Mewtwo Unite right back the other way, trying to punish them right now for making that play as Curios is running as fast as they can.
Infinite Cyburn out of the Mewtwo there. You saw just those beams fall from the stratosphere. Enough to send everybody scrambling. Unfortunately, not enough to get a knockout. Ducky, Earthquake's out of danger. Rock Tomb is down. X-Scissor into the wall, and they're gone with the Flash Cannon Duraludon. And now you see Roland poking their head out to see what's going on. It's like, I don't think I want to
got tier 1 bot.
No thanks.
I'm going to get out of here. Moltres now in the top path, getting some experience all by their own. Zacian and the Hoopa are making their way here, deciding whether or not they want to fight. Trick
bully
on
that
top
Moltres.
of Zacian, it just makes it really difficult to brawl with. Of course, that's going to be hard for Moltres. They have to run away.
Yeah, when you're expending your first pick into Hoopa, something that's been banned so much, you have to execute and leverage it to the best of your ability, because that's why you put so many resources into getting that pick onto your side. Evil Geniuses and Root Dignitas both have insane Hoopa players on them.
Yes, they do. Got players just known for these characters, right? As Evil Geniuses, deciding whether or not they want to do something in the top path. Root is looking for their play. 4 members now moving towards this goal zone. A huge catch, and they are looking to push Zacian
Nice, good
back.
berry pickups.
Yeah, I mean, with 4 players there, there's not much Christmas can do. Meanwhile, they're babysitting to just keep the attention because the counter score is happening downstairs out of EG. They step up and are actually able to protect the goal zone a little bit and not have it closed out on them.
You know, Dupes next. This is something you'll see a lot of these top teams do, right? They have 1 player defending in the bottom path as 4 players push in another. If they can't get value in one of your lanes, they're going to get one in the other. If they see a team pushing, they're going to
we push bot
push.
pretty
That's what's
hard.
happening, as you can see how close this game is. 158, 178. Level-wise, extremely close also, as our teams are looking to score more.
Yeah, I mean, just, I believe, a 7-point over there in the Tier 1 goal zone as Regialecki is marching towards the bot Tier 2 of Root Dig. A lot of yellow pips on the map. These teams need to start eating.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for both of these teams to get very, very strong for the next couple objectives that are going to pop up on our map, and that is exactly what they are doing. You're looking to get as many wild Pokemon KOs as you can, get your carries to a very high level so they can burst your opponents down. Mammo's finding a little bit of trouble right here, but
That's
here
all
comes
right, we're
the
going
champ.
in. We're going ham. Get him, boys.
Backwards, get the Mewtwo.
Nice, got the Mewtwo.
Now
Crystal's
the pressure's
low.
on. Cross chop in, can't quite get it. Rings Unbound Hoopa with the big fists and stuns. Chris Smith has to move forward. Ducky's low. We have the big sai out of the side duck, and that's going to be a great way to stymie this advance, and heck of a counter punch from Root Dig.
Beautiful play there, and you saw that massive psychic from Ender peeling them back into the fight so they could get the KO. As now Dignitas is deciding what they want to do with this advantage. It looks like they know if they move towards this tier 2, they could be in trouble. They're trying to
the boys are jumping in.
I love that play. Take this jump pad right on top of the Duraludon's head. Submission, easy knockout. Here comes the chase. Let's snatch Ender. Let's put him down.
Got him.
Icy Wind,
Good job, boys.
coming alive. Vin making their presence known finally, and I know EG's excited about that.
Yeah, EG now looking for this Reggie Drago. It's
oh my gosh, that
Dignitas
Machamp is so
could try to
fast.
steer, but no, they're actually going for the KO right here onto the Crustle. It looks like, you know, Root Dig just didn't make a decision when they made their way to the central area of EG, but EG now not able to get something in return. However, the objective secure.
Did you just see the play out of Roland there to eat the Mewtwo shot and keep Chris Smith standing in that moment? That would have been a huge volume of experience into the hands of Root Dig, but Roland playing their role to perfection, stepping up, eating that shot on behalf of the Zacian, and now they're both ready for another scrap.
Here we go. 5 members of Root Dig in the top half
nice.
here. They get Duraludon immediately.
Get him. Get that Crustle.
Chris Smith is all over Zugrug now. They are flipped.
Let's go.
They
2
are
for nothing.
Indeed.
Get that Reggie Steel buff.
Is, of course, Ducky, looking for
we
the
need
next
that buff
target
before
on
the
top
big
of
mid
U2
fight.
wide. Chris Smith has to peel back a little
Let's
bit
go.
so the rest of the team. Dude, we've only got 10 seconds.
Big
until
steel
another
buff.
Monster
10 seconds for mid.
Here we go. Groudon is going to be on our map here in just a moment. Both teams ready to go. Unite moves on every single player for these squads. In just 2 minutes here, Root Dig could become your champions. The question is how they're going to catch them. Machamp fading in, deciding to peel back out. Here comes the Glaceon Unite move for very little value. The question is Root going to go for it? Are they going to rip? The Hoopa Unite is out.
Get him.
Rings Unbound, Revolving Rune is down right into the middle. We've got stomping around his Mamoswine. Ducky goes in. The backside is Chris Smith on Sell It. The
nice. Duraludon's down.
Can they do anything?
They're on the
with
Mewtwo.
It? The chase is
Get
on.
him, Ducky.
Mewtwo's low. Otter's
Ducky's still alive. That's okay.
Down. And now Roland has to peel back. Everybody's low on HP.
So 1 for 1.
Settling down for just a moment. Roland's trying to get out of dodge. Is Zealot going to start working on the Groudon now?
Glaceon went down in the bottom path. I didn't see exactly what happened, but I know it looked like they were possibly hiding in the tall grass. The base and Ender caught them, which is huge. Roland in a lot of trouble right here, having to run, but also buying some time. And here comes landing on top of them. The Flash Cannon. Groudon now being chipped, but Evil Geniuses is coming back, and they have a Zacian Unite move.
Roland is still alive. They're able to back. Groudon is at less than half. They need to move in. Here's Chris Smith. They're on the Zacian. They're going for the finish. They've got the Sovereign Sword. Can they hit the deliver for the kid? It's too early.
No.
It's too early. Zealot steps over the Moltres and takes it for Root
What was that?
Oh no! The plan goes to
what was
shambles.
that?
EG falls at the finish line, and Root Dig's looking to score.
And here they go, the Hundo Burgers raining in the top and bottom goal zone. More points into the center. And with only 35 seconds left, and the objective secured by Root Dignitas, they just have one of the most special moments in Pokemon Unite, assembling as a crew in the middle of your map. Root Dignitas, the best in North America, possibly the best in the world.
I feel like why go on the ground on like could you not have gone on them? I felt like they were low.
NAIC champions.
Good game, boys. Good fight. Good fight.
What a moment for Root Dignitas. What a heartbreaker.
Good fight, guys. Good fight.
Geniuses. All I could say about these two teams.
We'll see them at Worlds.
I cannot wait to see the performance they put together in San Francisco. I don't think it's any
that's all right, guys.
by saying NA has 2 of the strongest teams going to Worlds this year, and if I were any other region in the world, I would be very concerned about having to battle either of these 2 squads.
No question about it. I mean, these are some of the best to
ever
poor
Chris
play our
Smith.
game. We have a world champion,
It's all right, man.
two-time world champion on that stage. Multi-regional winners on both sides
poor guy.
of these squads. What an incredible battle between these two. I love the attempt there from Chris on
I love it too.
EG to go in with the Sovereign Sword, look for that secure. As we take a look at some of the big moments here from our final brawl between these two before maybe they meet again at the World Championships.
Man, I felt so good going into that mid fight. We had this, we had the Reggie Steele buff.
But that was unequivocally the correct call in that moment.
Oh, that wasted Glaceon ult.
Themselves, it feels crushed right now. But they have to have the confidence to make that call and make that play. And I can just know that in their development throughout this entire year, that decision was not something they would have necessarily made a short 6 months ago. But this team has grown together, like Picadiff said, and they're getting themselves these opportunities for big-time wins. What a match.
Here it is, right here. They're looking for it, the Metal Claw. They start ripping it. It gets low, and they look for the secure. Moltres flies in, getting very, very dangerously close to the secure right here.
So is he just holding his attack, waiting?
There's not going to be enough damage from this Unite move. As you see it swing, it gets pretty low. Boom. The heat wave,
man.
The root dig secure, Zealot for the victory right there, and Dignitas is able to wipe the squad and score. Shrugs in the crowd with the root dig sign.
They did. I mean, it was a great tournament. It was a great run.
Golly, and when you look at that final moment, it was literally all of root dig.
Good job, guys.
Versus Chris Smith and Ducky.
Hey.
And
lot to do in the next 2 months before Worlds, but I'm excited to see how we perform.
Gutting way for them to finish, but I mean, all the credit in the world to your NAIC.
Yeah,
champion.
Dig held on. Dig saw the Sacred Sword from Zacian and held off on hitting the Groudon.
Trophies up on the big stage, of course, what they were playing for, and all of the glory. Your player.
That's all right. Good effort. Good tournament. Hey,
Dignitas,
silver medal still very good.
And a huge shout out to
second
Zealot
place
for that final secure right there. I also think another massive play. You can really talk about every single play made by this squad.
Hey, it wasn't a complete sweep either, right?
Catch. I have to ask him what happened. They found Vin in the bottom path. I don't know if they were chasing him, they knew where he was, but that KO was a massive difference maker.
It absolutely was, right? Especially after Vin had to preemptively use the glacial stage, right? When things got a little dicey right at the jump. I mean, that's a critical resource there. Well executed by Root Dig. Again, these teams that are able to see their windows of opportunity and pounce on them.
I've learned a lot about Pokemon Unite in the last 2 days. A lot.
Weekend. Of course, Root Dig doing it again. And love seeing Toon get crowned here as an
basically an expert at this point.
That's dedicated a lot of their life and time to the game over these last 5.5 years, and well deserved out of them for sure.
I'm so happy for Dignitas here. I mean, this is the makings of a squad that was one of the first Pokemon Unite matches I ever watched. You know, before there was an official series. It's so amazing to see them at this point on the precipice, you know, looking at the World Championships.
It was a good run.
Also right there.
We'll get him in. We'll be live for Worlds too. So Worlds is going to be in August. I'm very excited to watch the boys play and see how far we can go all the way. I see a Worlds win in our future. So anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out this weekend as we spectated Evil Geniuses compete for the NAIC for Pokemon Unite. Yes, coming back even stronger for Worlds. Loved to see some of the plays Ducky was making. Absolute. I would give Ducky MVP for the weekend for the tournament. I think he did a great job. But all in all, everyone played really well. Dignitas is a great team. They had some really good calls throughout the 4 games we just watched. But awesome, great tournament. Hey, we'll take second place and we'll be live for Worlds in August. So anyway, thank y'all so much for hanging out. This was a very new experience for me, but I had a lot of fun. Learned a lot. It was awesome to be able to have a team and just be like cheering for that team. It made the games way more exciting. So I'll see y'all again very soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and take care. Peace.